Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to continue our NFL predictions with the Los Angeles Chargers. And oh boy, as I kind of predicted last year, I felt like this was a downgrade year for the Chargers. And most of it had to do with injuries, defensive ineptitude, Brandon Staley, Quentin Johnston's hands only being for decoration. And this Charger team, yeah, I said they were going to regress, and they did. Because look at their schedule. They started off 0-2, losing a tough battle with the Miami Dolphins, and then losing to the Tennessee Titans in overtime. And then after their bye week, they had a very early bye week, week 5. They lost to the Dallas Cowboys thanks to a Herbert interception. And then they lost to the Chiefs. What else is new? They couldn't really get anything going, and I think I will blame their defense on majority of this. Because they gave up 41 points to the Detroit Lions. They blew a lead against the Packers. And then against the Las Vegas Raiders, they pretty much just gave up that year, giving up 63. And that ended up being the straw that broke the camel's back. But once Herbert got hurt the week against the Denver Broncos, I think the Chargers, they just tapped out of the season. And that's why they got a 5-12 record right there. Now, here are some highlights. And first of all, Khalil Mack had a resurgence year. Although most of his productivity came against one game. Against his former Raider team, he had like 5 sacks on Aiden O'Connell. So that helped out. And then finally, even though they should have done it last January, they fired Brandon Staley. He was a heck of a coach. He got very testy with the media saying he's going to call the defense. And his defense, supposed to be his baby, they were the worst part of his whole unit. They also fired GM Tom Telesco. So, package deal. And that pretty much brings us right into the lowlights. Mike Williams, week 3, torn his ACL, gone for the year. That hurt, and once again, his career is getting screwed over by Brandon Staley. Because if you remember, the last game of the season last year, he played in a meaningless game and got hurt. He was not able to play against the Jacksonville Jaguars in that wild card game. And in week 3, he tore his ACL, screwed over by Brandon Staley. Then they had a lot of chokes this year. Like blowing a lead against the Dolphins, blowing a lead against Dallas, blowing a lead against the Titans, blowing a lead against the Packers, nearly blowing it against the Vikings and the Raiders because of idiotic 4th down calls by Brandon Staley. He did get off the hook. They love the Chargers, always find ways to charge themselves out of games. And then Justin Herbert hurts his finger. And that was pretty much the moment the Chargers said, you know what, forget this. Screw it. We're going to check out the season. We're planning our Cancun vacations. And on an unrelated note, whatever happened to that Chargers lady girl that was on week 6 and 7 of the season? I'm very curious. Now for some acquisitions, the Chargers, if you don't know, are being led by a new head coach in Jim Harbaugh. And it looks like the Chargers are going to be very powerful. I think they're going to be a very power team this year. They added Gus the Bus Edwards, who had a breakout season in Baltimore. They added Will Dissly from Seattle, Hayden Hurst from Carolina, Bradley Bozeman, also from Carolina, and they also added Denzel Perryman. And I felt like never mind. The subtractions, pretty much their entire skill position. Their leading rusher from last year, gone. He's in Washington. Mike Williams, who got screwed over by Brandon Staley, gone. He's with the Jets. Keenan Allen, their leading receiver last year, gone. He's now with the Bears. Eric Kendricks, their leading tackler, gone. He's now with the Cowboys. Kenneth Murray, he's gone. I can't recall where he went. Gerald Everett, he's gone. And Corey Linsley, he opted for retirement. And as for the draft, instead of taking a receiver with their first round pick, they decided to go with the safe pick with Joe Alt, which I will not blame them for doing. But in the second round, they took Ladd McConkey. I think he's a really great fit for this Charger team. He also added Jerry Rice's son in the seventh round. I don't know if he's going to make the roster, but that's something to worth note. And they don't, and there's not really too much here about their other draft picks that I want to highlight. But hey, they did took two Michigan players, Junior Colson and Cornelius Johnson, who played under Harbaugh. So let's take a look at their schedule. Alright, Charger fans, let's take a look at your schedule. And you're starting off your season with the Raiders. Luckily, this game is at home. Harbaugh's first game of the season. I'm going to start here. Then week 2, they're going to go to Carolina. And I actually have the Chargers somehow losing this game. I mean, come on, I got to give Carolina something. In week 3 and 4 will be wins over a road win over the Steelers and a home win over the Chiefs. And they have a very early bye week at week 5. Very strange to me. Now, week 6 against the Broncos, kind of a rebuilding Broncos team. But I do Broncos are going to win this one because they do know how to play the Chargers very well, particularly at home. In week 7, they got the Arizona Cardinals. And this game is going to be the ESPN Plus exclusive game. And I'm going to roll with the Cardinals to win with that one. Week 8 against Saints. I've gone back and forth with this one. I actually am going to roll with the Saints to win the game. But week 9, they're going to end this little 3-game losing streak at Cleveland, of all places. And then week 10, they're going to lose to the Titans at home. But week 11, they're going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals at home. Week 12, this is a game that pretty much everyone has their schedule. Jim Harbaugh versus John Harbaugh. And I'm looking at the road win. Big brother beating little brother again. And for the rest of their schedule, I got them going on the road, getting a win at Atlanta. I got them losing to the Chiefs at home. I mean, on the road this time. I think this game's on Sunday night. It is on Sunday night. Week 15 against the Buccaneers. This one's a tricky one. But I'll give the slide to the Chargers on this one. And I got them avenging their early season defeat over the Denver Broncos to the Raiders. And I'm going to give them a road win at England. Brings the record to 9-8. Which isn't a bad record for the Chargers. But I know they're probably better than what their record indicates. All I'll say. But anyway, that concludes the Chargers prediction. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Gamble safely. And I'll see you next time.